Well, welcome back. We often talk about a game of two halves. That was a half of 3/3, wasn't it? It was
yeah.
Norwich, for the first 20 minutes, possession-wise, dominated the game, had a really good chance to Emi Buendia and probably should have taken the lead.
Yeah.
Then the middle spell was all Brentford. 2 or 3 really good chances, get themselves in front. And at the end again, Norwich have had a couple of good chances.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good game for the neutral. You know what I mean? It's very open. I mean, as you said, Norwich started really well. For me, Buendia should score, at least hit the target. Fantastic.
Should he hit it with his left foot?
Yeah.
If that's on his right foot on the other side,
Yeah.
he hits that first time, doesn't he? Low and hard across the goalkeeper.
But the ability of the man, he's got the defender on the floor and he's lofted it over the top. You know what I mean? I think he was lucky to get a corner. You know what I mean? But he's done fantastic. And yeah, I'm with you. You mean he should be hitting it left-footed across the goalkeeper into the far post. But he's done fantastic skill. But then he's missed the target, which is cardinal sin. But in terms of performance-wise, like I say, Norwich started well. I mean, played their normal keep ball football and whatever like, and looked quite content as well to do that. Brentford sucked it in, and then when Buendia missed that chance, it was just like as if to say like someone's given Brentford some newfound energy and whatever like. And I think what Brentford's done as well, they're sort of like mixing their game up as well. I think they are mixing their game up as well, not only keeping the ball because they all look comfortable on the ball as well, but they're prepared to hit the long diagonals. But they're got two wide men that stay nice high and wide.
A little inferential for the goal as well, and you look where the goal came from. And we talked about losing Quintea before the game and what he'll give going forward because he will deliver balls into the box. Yeah. We haven't seen any width at all really from Sorensen, have we?
Not at all. Not in the areas that Quintea gets the ball. You know what I mean? Aarons is getting it like a lot of times high and wide on the right hand side, and we're used to Quintea.
But we never really see any delivery from Max Aarons in those positions anyway, do we? Really, not in terms of early delivery.
But what he's doing, he's making a problem for the Brentford fullback to go out or do like the wide man come back. But Sorensen's sort of like staying in field. You know what I mean? So he's sort of like not creating any problems for the Brentford back four in the midfield holding midfielders because they can see him. You know what I mean? Quintea, if he was out here like wide on the wing, then it becomes a problem then. You know what I mean? So that's sort of like keeping Brentford compact without Brentford doing anything. Yeah. It's just his position.
So is that becoming easier for Brentford defensively to be able to mark him because he's not causing them a problem? As a right back, you've got your left winger who you haven't got to look that way.
No, absolutely.
You're looking, everything's in front of you there, and the defender you're marking is right in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. So Brentford are not worrying about where there's no one out here high on the wide on the left hand side. So the right back can see Sorensen, the holding midfield player, even central can see Sorensen. So he's not real danger. You know what I mean? So they're not having to worry about anything like blindsided them on the left-hand side. And sort of like when Aarons gets it, and it's quite noticeable that Aarons have always got like one or two or three people around him. Because probably they're all compact this side, and they can afford to do it because they know they're not going to switch it because no one's out here on the left-hand side.
And has there been some kind of poor decisions from Norwich players at times? And even from the experience of Tim Krul, a couple of times he's tried to clip one out to here and lost the ball straight into one of their players and they've had a chance from it. He tried to throw one out this side, lost it again there. And even the goal that come from this area where Todd Cantwell played the ball in a blind pass, essentially. He tried to play it through a couple of Brentford players, didn't go to Vrancic, then they break and score. So is it those little margins? It's easy to pick up when they score a goal from it, but we've seen that 3 or 4 times from Todd tonight, giving the ball away cheaply.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I say, the way Norwich play, they're going to make mistakes on the ball. But I think a lot of the times they're making mistakes on the ball when they're not under no real pressure. You know what I mean? They're probably making a wrong decision. It is a square ball. I mean, square balls don't work. You know what I mean? And it's like game management. I think Brentford, especially in the middle of the half, Brentford managed the game well. We said, the last corner, like last 30 seconds of the game, 2 centre-halves are coming up, losing 1-0, put it in the box so we can challenge. They've taken a short free kick and it ends up Brentford getting a free kick on the halfway line. That's game management. Yeah. That's just basics. Basically, for me, they make that's making the wrong decision. I think sometimes Norwich make too many wrong decisions in possession. Not only like they're lacking, almost being a bit too casual with their passes and whatever. Like they've got to concentrate more on keeping possession. We
have got these players like Buendia and Cantwell in the side. They do give you an awful lot going forward at times, and that's what they're in the side to do. But you kind of alluded during the game saying they don't give you an awful lot going backwards sometimes. But isn't that then the job of Rupp and Skip to... That's what they're for. Absolutely. Let them do what they're doing creatively. And they will make mistakes, but actually it might come off at some point.
Yeah, I'm not advocating for like Cantwell and Buendia not being in the team because you need them in the team, especially when you've got like Pukki up front as well. And like you say, because Brentford in possession, they're pushing high, so that space is there. So Buendia and Cantwell are so important to the team. And like you said, out of possession, don't expect too much of them. And that's where your back four have got to be a solid back four, and your Rupp and your Skip have got to be 2 solid defensive midfield players. 6 players should be able to keep Brentford out long enough for Buendia or Cantwell to get back and help them. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean that Brentford's going to cut through us. You know what I mean? But like I say, but you need Buendia and Cantwell in that team because they've got to be the ones to provide those killer passes for Pukki. But again, though, mate, it's sort of like there's so many times that, like the ball. I mean, Buendia does it so many times. Like it's his enthusiasm. You know what I mean? He wants to come and get the ball like, in the right back position. You don't need to do that because he offers passes to Aarons out wide. Let Aarons get the ball, and you be in a position to receive it. But what's happening? It's actually bypassing Buendia, going to Aarons, and then Buendia is having to make a 15 or 20 yard run forward to try and to receive that pass. So know the game. Don't worry about going back there. Let the fullback get it. But when the fullback gets it, pass it into that pocket of space in between the midfield and the defence. But he's not there. He's going to look for the ball. Oh, I'm going to run him back. So it's just sort of like game management, really.
Yeah, we're going to cross over to Simeon Jackson now, who's in the Gun Club. Simeon, I mean, what have you made of that first half? And what the fans around you, you've probably been talking to a little bit as well. What have they thought about that first half?
Well, I'm definitely on the lively side of the Gun Club. When Grant nearly scored a while ago, it was it nearly erupted in here. But it's an open game as we expected. But yeah, you definitely would have liked us to get back in the game with Grant's chance. Buendia had a good chance as well. Both teams really respecting each other, can't really press because if they do press, the other team will just play out. So hopefully Norwich can get back in the game second half.
And Rob just alluded to a point there where Buendia's sort of coming quite deep to try and receive the ball sometimes and actually maybe just freeing up a little bit to push further up the field. Do you think that's something that he's been, well, maybe not asked to do, but most players in attacking senses now are reminded of their defensive responsibilities. Do you think he's a bit over-eager to do that and actually has taken a little bit away from his attacking threat?
Yes and no. It can work both ways, but I think, Buendia, he wants to get on the ball, he wants to drop short. I think personally Norwich will need to threaten a bit in behind a bit more. Team who's not really going to do that, but you maybe want Buendia to try and do that side as well, and Campbell just to make more of a threat. On the other end, Brentford, they've 2 quick passes and they've created a chance for their goal, and I think Norwich just want to play a little bit more quicker, but also have a threat in behind.
And it's that, we said this about Norwich before in terms of they like to have the ball to feet. Everybody wants the ball into feet. They don't often get too many balls into space, apart from Timo Pukki had one quite early on. Everything else is feet to try and create a chance. Is it a case of actually sometimes put the ball into that space, but have they got the personnel in the team that is going to make a run into that space? They kind of wait for the ball rather than sort of being proactive and going to make that run. They'll wait for it to happen, then they'll run.
This is the thing. Norwich are so good at keeping the ball and being patient with it. They've showed that in the Premier League. They're come down to the Championship and they know they can do that. So, and when it does come off, it looks really, really good. So you don't want to take that away. But yes, you do want to have that threat behind just to change it up and create yourself more space so that, you can play through teams.
But then look at the personnel Norwich have got. If you even drag Timo Pukki back a little bit and ask him to play a little bit deeper, you probably haven't got the runners in Buendia and Cantwell, have you, to burst in behind. They're not those type of players. So is it a personnel thing at the moment for Norwich?
I think so. If you look at, say, Brentford, they've got that. They've got the players that will threaten behind, and I think that's the difference. But, Norwich are good at keeping the ball and playing, so you have to just keep doing that. And as you see, you will create that chance, and you will maybe have a set piece. And I think away from home, if Grant did put that one in, you're 1-1 back in the game, and it's not so bad.
No, thanks, Simon. We'll see you again hopefully at the end of the game. Enjoy the second half.
Nice.
And that's the point we've made there, isn't it? Again, Simon said, as much as you look at the faults that Norwich have had, they've had chances.
Yeah.
I mean, that Grant Hanley's not going to get a better one all this season. Is he a free header inside the 6-yard box?
He'll be disappointed missing that. You've got, no one was around him. He made a good run. And it's like everything lights up in front of your eyes, isn't it? You know what I mean? Like, free header in front of goal, 12 yards, should be scoring the goal, shouldn't be missing the target. And yeah, fair play to you. Mean what Simeon said there. Norwich have had 3 really good chances. You know what I mean? Like, I think Pukki was a bit unfortunate. He made a great little link-up play and whatever. Like, Vranic just delayed the pass a bit, but it just shows that they can get through the Brentford defence. And like I say, if Grant had scored that header, we'd have been sitting here 1-1, and we're thinking it's a good result. But at the moment, like I say, you just feel Brentford had the upper hand, especially in the middle part of that half. Norwich ended strongly, so you just hope Norwich will start the second half strongly. Yeah, well, let's catch up with the big man Gunny again. I'm sure he'll be raving about Tim Krul's save in that second half from Tony as well. It is a brilliant one, wasn't it, Gunny? Because it's one of those ones as a centre forward, he peels away and he's got his hands on his head saying, how's he saved that?
It was a great cross into the box as well, and Tony met it well, and it was a bit of a spin header, and it was sort of curving from outside the post into the far corner. But Tim spread himself fantastically well. Got a good hand on it. I can't remember who was following up, but he still had a chance to score, but he scooped it into the side netting. But so that's probably helped Norwich City. Kept him in the game. Rob's mentioned the header there from Grant Hanley, what a great opportunity that was. Buendia, he had a great opportunity earlier in the game as well when he twisted and turned into the box. He probably got too close to the goalkeeper, too close to the defender, and when he got his shot off, it took a little nick off somebody. So and Vrancic shot from out the edge of the box. They need to do more of this, Norwich, and once they get the ball into those final third areas, they need to be more positive, and there's still a chance for them in this game. I can see Norwich scoring. I just hope that they can keep the ball out at the other end and maybe give themselves a chance to either get the 1 point or hopefully 3 points at the end of the game.
And can you tell me if I'm wrong? As a goalkeeper, it's most difficult to set themselves when you don't know someone's going to hit the shot, isn't it? So with that Buendia incident, as much as he's done well to bring the ball back inside, surely he's got to hit that low and hard across the goalkeeper first time. Because, or like you say, taking more shots in and around that 18-yard box, Norwich seem to want to play through everybody to get that perfect goal. For a goalkeeper, the worst thing you want is people take as many shots as they can with bodies in front of you.
Yeah, Ray is a very athletic goalkeeper. He's lively across his goals. He's quick, around the penalty box. He's good reflex goalkeeper. So, I would have thought it probably played into his hands and the fact that Buendia, took his time and delaying his chance that he had. He did it a little bit earlier and when he wasn't set, and there may have been an opportunity for the ball to get in the back of the net, but that chance is gone now. But it proves that the Brentford defence that is there to, it's open. It's you can get through them. Those little passes that you mentioned earlier with Vrancic and Pukki, just timing. Get that offside run correct, and hopefully there'll be a few more chances in the second half for Norwich City.
Well, that's the positives going, isn't it? As much as Norwich are 1-0 down at the moment, they've had chances and good chances at that. They're not half chances. They probably and should have scored 2 in that half.
Yeah, I mean, I was disappointed when the goal went in. It was a sloppy sort of pass inside from, and maybe a bit harsh on Todd, but I think Brentford set traps. They set the trap around the throw-in and made sure that they knew that Norwich City would try and pass their way out of the situation. And they set the trap, and the trap won the ball back, and it gave them the opportunity, front foot, and they got Ivan Toney in front of goals with a tap in, exactly what they want. Grant Hanley slightly out of position, Max Aaron slightly out of position, Ben Gibson could have made maybe closer to the near post, but that's nitpicking a bit. I think it was the quick. Trap that they set, and the goal that they scored that caught Norwich City out. So they need to make sure that they don't do that second half. You may see some changes. I'm sure that Daniel Farke probably not happy with everything he saw there in the first half, and he'll be probably planning with something with 10-15 minutes into the second half. If something doesn't change in terms of the scoreline, he may have some changes up his sleeve.
Top man, Gunny. Thanks as always. Gunny's touched on a really good point there, looking at Brentford's point of view there. It's not all about Todd Cantwell losing the ball. It's actually them setting good traps to catch Norwich when they're disorganised, when they're in possession. Yeah, no, absolutely. But Todd Cantwell shouldn't give the ball away, whether there's traps set or not. I mean, it was a good ball into him. It's just a first touch inside, really. I mean, that for me, that's giving the ball away, regardless of whether there's traps or not. You protect it, or you don't throw it to Todd Cantwell. It was not a great throw. I mean, I think he was only about 10 yards away from him. So, hey, listen, you ain't getting it. We're away from home. We're not going to rush. And I think Norwich have done that a lot in that first half. They've rushed the kicks. They've given, how many balls have they given away, whether it's gone out for a throw-in or they've given it away by rushing the game. Don't rush. You're away from home. Like you say, it was 0-0 at that time. Push on, Todd. Get out of the way, Todd. You're not getting it. I'm going to throw this down the line to Pookie. I'm going to throw it back to Ben Gibson. Take your time. Don't rush it. And like I say, traps are set, but good players know that, and they make the right decisions in possession. Yeah, and we talked about having a threat going forward and a little bit of pace for Norwich, and Placetta's on for Cantwell. So hopefully that'll make a difference for Norwich in the second half. We'll see you after the game.
Swimming at night, she been calling to me. Hold my breath in the pool, but she been underwater in the Indian Sea. I've been doing it right, can't forget what you said. When you're finished with you, baby, you should come and find me in the Sea of Cortez. The way that my heart is, the way that the sea. Blanket of cool water. She been cultivated in the space in between. Could be chasing a ghost, another crease in the waves. With all the truth in my blue colors, she just give me something I could never replace. The way that my heart is, the way that the sea. pacing backwards again, so lonely. I feel like we're going backwards again. You're turning so slowly. We're pacing backwards again. Yes, it's only, 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 only you. And I say I'm very satisfied with up